it up in the Malamute Saloon. The kid that handles the music box was hitting a jag-time tune. Back at the bar in a solo game sat Dangerous Dan McGrew. And watching his luck with his light of love, the lady that was known as Lou. When out of the night, which was 50 below, and into the din and the glare, there stumbled a miner fresh from the creeks, dog dirty and loaded for bear. He looked like a man with a foot in the grave and scarcely the strength of a louse. Yet he tilted the poke of dust on the bar, and he called for drinks for the house. There was nothing that could place the stranger's face, though we searched ourselves for a clue. We drank to his health, and the last to drink was Dangerous Dan McGrew.
Mom, gonna give me my drink.
There's men that somehow just grip your eyes and hold them hard like a spell. And such was he. He looked to me like a man who had lived in hell, with a face most hair and the dreary stare of a dog whose day is done, as he watered the green stuff in his glass and the drops fell one by one. Then I got to figuring who he was and wondered what he'd do. And I turned my head, and watching him was the lady that was known as Lou. His eyes went rubbering around the room, and he seemed in a kind of daze, till at last that old piano fell in the way of his wandering gaze. The ragtime kid was having a drink. There was no one else on the stool, so the stranger stumbles across the room and flops down there like a fool. In a buckskin shirt that was glazed with dirt, he sat and I saw him sway. Then he clutched the keys with his talon's hand, and my God, but that man could play. Were you ever out in the great alone when the moon was awful clear and the icy mountains hemmed you in with a silence that you could almost hear, with only the howl of the timber wolf, and you camped there in the cold, a half-dead thing in a stark dead world, clean mad for the muck called gold? While overhead, green, and the northern lights swept in bars, then you've a hunch what it means. Hunger and night and the stars. And hunger not of the belly's kind that's banished with bacon and beans, but the gnawing hunger of a lonely man for home and all that means, for a fireside far from the cares that are, four walls and a roof above, but oh so crammed of cozy joy, crowned with a woman's love, a woman dearer than all the world and true as heaven is true. God, how ghastly she looks through her rouge, the lady that's known as Lou. Then on a sudden the music changed so soft that you could hear, but you felt that your life had been looted, clean of all that had been once held dear. Then someone had stolen the woman you loved, that her love was a devil's lie, that your guts were gone and the best for you was to crawl away and die. 'Twas the crowning cry of a heart's despair, and it's thrilled through and through. I guess I'll make it a spread misery, said Dangerous Dan McGrew. The music almost died away, then it burst like a pent-up flood, and it seemed to say, repay, repay, and my eyes were blind with blood. The thought came back of an ancient wrong, and it stung like a frozen lash, and the lust awoke to kill, but then the music stopped with a crash. And the stranger turned, and his eyes they burned in a most peculiar way, in a buckskin shirt that was glazed with dirt, and I saw him sway. Then his lips went into a kind of grin, and he spoke, and his calm voice was calm, and he said, boys, you don't know me, and none of you care a damn, but I want to state that my words are straight, and I'll bet my poke they're true, that one of you is a hound of hell, and that one is Dan McGrew. Then I ducked my head, and the lights went out, and two guns blazed in the dark, and a woman screamed, and the lights went up, and two men lay stiff and stark. Pitched on his head and pumped full of lead was Dangerous Dan McGrew, while the man from the creeks clutched to the breast of the lady that's known as Lou. These are the simple facts of the case, and I guess you ought to know. They say that the stranger was crazed with hooch, and I'm not denying it, so I'm not so wise as the lawyer guys, but strictly between us two. The woman that kissed him pinched his poke, and that was the lady known as Lou. She stole his gold.
Yay!
Was that good?
Yay!
That was awesome, man.